everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of a podcast about movies and TV shows and video games and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me, per usual, are two of your other hosts. We got Brian and we got Devin here.
Woo woo.
How you guys doing? I fell off a little bit.
You fell off. You got a little country about it. How y'all doing over there?
I don't know what happened. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're eternally confused by daylight savings. Well, I'm in Arizona right now, so I thought it was 3 hours, but now it's not. It's 2 hours.
I was about to say nothing changed for you.
It was weird. I don't know. I don't like it, but
your
anyway.
state is the only normal one right now.
Yeah,
I never thought anyone would ever say that about Arizona of all places. That's for damn sure.
It's a good reason to like. It's a good incentive. Like, hey, you could come here, and your time is just gonna make sense all year round.
Right. That should be their motto. Arizona, where time makes sense.
Yeah, I think Hawaii doesn't do it either, and like some like Samoa and Guam, all those places.
So we just suck.
Yeah, apparently. But we're gonna push through because man, we got a doozy of an episode this week for you listeners. All right. With that, guys, should we head into our first segment of the week?
Oh
Let's
man,
do it.
news talk.
As you are aware, listeners, check the time codes if you want to skip to any certain news topic or avoid spoilers and all that jazz. Check down there in the show notes. So with that, first piece of news, the first trailer, because last time we got a teaser, first trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water dropped. Man, I'm getting more and more pumped every more I've seen this movie, guys. I know Brian's got a look on his face that says the opposite. But
it's beautiful. The trailer is beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, they've really definitely upped the ante when it came to the animation quality and things of that nature. But God, do I not give a single fuck about this world anymore? Because when you first showed it to me, I was much younger, and now it went away for 10 years, and now it's here again, and I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nuts that it's been over a decade. Like, it doesn't feel it, but at the same time, it's yeah, I don't know.
I feel
weird...
like it feels like a long time ago. I feel like I was like a junior in high
Maybe
school.
it's just that people have constantly been talking about it. Oh, it's coming out this year. Nope. It's coming out this year. Nope. It's like it's kind of constantly kind of been around.
Yeah.
But we just never actually thought it would happen.
Were they actually working on it the entire time? Or was it just like James Cameron like a year ago was like, okay, fine, it's time. Let's do it.
I feel like he's at least been working on it for like 8 out of the past, whatever, 12, 13 years at least.
Because there was a weird point. I don't know if y'all remember when he was like, I just want to make Avatar movies for the rest of my life. I don't want to make any more movies. And everyone was like, James Cameron, that's a little weird. Maybe calm that down.
Yeah, he's on something when he said that.
It's that pressure when he's in the submarine. It's gotten to his head. But like I was telling Brian when we last talked about Avatar, James Cameron doesn't miss, man. He just doesn't miss. I don't know how. He just doesn't miss. So I'm psyched. I'm very psyched.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. I don't think I'll be seeing this one like 4 times like I saw the original one.
Why would you see that movie 4 times? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just magical. It was very magical.
It was. I didn't even see it. I'm jealous that you saw it now 3 times more than me, and also technically like 12 years before I did.
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't even seen the movie? What the fuck?
No, I saw the movie. I didn't see it in theaters. Yeah.
Oh
so,
man,
yeah.
the theaters it was a different thing in theaters. Like, and I think that's why I went to see it 4 times.
I mean, yeah.
It was just very impressive, and especially like you could see it in 3D. I think that was kind of the time where they did like 3D and regular, so you could see it both ways. 3D was cool, and they didn't do like the shitty 3D things where they like a boot in your face. Like
it was like the only movie that was actually like worth seeing in 3D.
Yeah, because it was just subtly like it was just part of the story, and like nothing jumped out at you. There were like maybe 1 or 2 things, but they resisted the urge quite well.
Just Dances with Wolves. What is this What is this new movie gonna be? Fucking story sucks.
Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo, I'm hoping.
Why? I don't know. I have questions. We'll see. I don't like that she's pregnant about a dude that was like kind of fake, but no, he's not fake. That's really weird.
Also, I'm pretty sure Sigourney Weaver is playing their daughter, so I don't know where the plot's going with that. Yeah, like I think that's an article came out that she's playing like she's doing the mocap and the voice of the daughter. So I'm assuming that will come into play in the movie.
That's really fucking weird.
Because she's also talking about like I hear her. Is she talking about Sigourney Weaver's character who died in the first one, or someone?
They put her into a baby.
I don't know.
She's a part of Awa now, right? Like she got absorbed into Awa, the planet.
Exactly. So again, story is secondhand. I'm there to just watch, just in the purest sense, like a baby. I'm just there to let my eyes take in the visuals of this world.
You are the equivalent of looking at the pictures of a storybook. Can't read none of those damn words.
Yeah. It's a pop-up book.
Oh god.
It's a big time for water stuff because I mean, Namor in the Black Panther movie is going to be a lot of underwater stuff there.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be like a bunch of underwater stuff. Like I don't know.
Right.
It's big water
Yeah,
stuff.
just even this trailer, which is a trailer on a computer screen or a phone, looks fucking dope. So yeah,
Mhm.
I can imagine on a massive
Yeah,
screen.
really, really pretty.
So yeah, that's coming out this December 15th, I think. So very, very soon.
Oh gosh.
Speaking of coming out very, very soon, HBO's The Last of Us series got a release date. That was a lot sooner than I thought. January 15th.
Let's go.
That
I'm
is right
excited.
around the fucking corner.
No, that I'm excited about.
Yeah. When House of the Dragon ended, I was like, damn it, I just really want another HBO show because they do so good. And now we have one.
And now we have one. Yeah. I'm very excited, obviously. We've talked about this in the past, but a lot sooner. I was thinking maybe late February, early March, but
Mhm.
January. Interesting time to drop it. So
Right.
yeah.
And see, I'll be in a unique boat, I think, because this will be my first introduction to like the Last of Us story. And I know some things about it, like some weird things, but like I don't really know the story much at all. So it'll be kind of cool to have a fresh set of eyes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be kind of fun to talk about.
I might actually have a lot of positive things to say about it because of that. Like
What a change for you.
not comparing it to the original source material, no need
That's
to.
true. Devin's gonna see this and then immediately like buy a PlayStation and play it and be like, "Oh, that show was trash. It didn't even follow the story."
Yeah.
Yeah. This might be the first thing in a while that you haven't had the context of the like a different medium beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be fun.
I do want to add, okay, I listened to last week's episode, and when y'all were talking about The Witcher and Henry Cavill leaving,
Oh,
the reason he's leaving is it's more to it than just like, oh, I'm leaving.
I heard there's
Oh.
speculation, but I just didn't
Yeah.
read it because I don't care enough.
I did, and I hope it might be a little bit of that, but I'm hoping that it's not entirely that.
What's the
I
other thing?
absolutely believe it is, like, because he is a fan of the source material.
Oh, he said he got no fighting about it with someone.
But the writers, allegedly, were laughing at the source material.
Allegedly, some. Let's not throw all of them under the
But,
bus.
like,
some.
That is some shit. That is my exact point of like, every time I'm like, why would you try to do your own thing when you're adapting something? That is my exact point. Like, they just proved my point. Like, fuck those writers, get the hell out
We've
of
had this
the room.
conversation before multiple times where I agree with you, but at the same time, look at The Boys, where most people say that is so much better than the actual comic book in terms of a story. So it's like, I get it, but at the same time, you could make something better potentially. But I don't agree if they were like this is a weird tangent news story. If they were like talking shit about the show that you're actually working on, source material, that's weird. That's a bit odd.
Like, just go work on a different show. If you want to build your own lore and your own universe, just go work on a different show. There's plenty of new fantasy shows out there where they make their own thing. But don't sit there and shit on the original material. Is the reason that you have a job in the show.
Like, I don't think you need to be the biggest fan to do that, but I don't think you can be like adamantly against the thing.
But you gotta,
Right.
but you gotta capture a good adaptation. Captures the soul of what that story's trying to say. And I think Witcher's done an okay job. I think Halo completely missed what the source, the
Yes,
soul
they
of the
did.
source material. And like Lord of the Rings, I think Rings of Power did a pretty good job of like capturing the essence of what Lord of the Rings is. But Witcher, I don't know. So Last
It's a
of Us,
bummer.
right?
It's
So
a bummer.
hopefully when y'all watch Last of Us, it'll feel,
And
similar.
I'm considering that the co-creator of that game and universe is actively a producer on this. I would imagine so.
Yeah, they probably do a good job.
That was Devin's tangent news. We just added a segment there, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. Onto our, speaking of HBO, to cancel some shit. And HBO canceled Westworld, which is a show that I never watched, but I had always it was always on my list. And I was like,
Yeah.
I always hear great things. I'll get to it eventually. Now I'm kind of inclined not to.
Right.
But that's why they canceled it, because that's how that show is for everybody. Like I also was like, one day I'll sit down and watch Westworld, and I just never did. Like they're like, you know what? Everybody in America probably feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, they had a super strong first season. I did the exact same thing. Where I was like, I'll watch it someday. Then season 2 came out, and then I heard it wasn't as strong, and then after that, I just kind of forgot the show existed.
Yeah, I got like 2-3 episodes into
Because
season
I
2.
heard that like season 3, and then the 4 current season, whatever, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And so, but I just never got around to it.
What sucks the most about it is they only want to make 5 seasons anyway. So why the
I
fuck are you
know.
gonna
Yeah,
cancel
just
it?
finish it out.
Like, why?
I'm hoping that maybe something will happen. Either like they'll talk or whatever, and they'll at least let them finish it. Like,
Yes.
because
Yeah,
I would
just
imagine
finish
like
the
the fans of that
story.
show are like, Really? One season out and you what? Like that'd
That
be
is kind of a
really annoying.
wild thing to do.
That's some
Yeah.
Showtime
Yeah.
level stuff to
Yeah,
cancel
you
stuff
gotta
right then.
maybe
Right?
finish it with a movie. Just finish it with a movie.
Finish
Yeah, or
it.
even that.
Yeah.
At least just give it an ending at least for those
Yes.
people that have been watching, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also one that I don't know if anyone else knew about this. I did not know this was happening. But HBO canceled a supposed Degrassi reboot, which I didn't even know was a thing.
You know,
That's
I
a
knew
good
about
thing.
it because I love Degrassi. I am a huge Degrassi fan, and I even watched the Netflix show that was on
Yeah.
there that ended in 2017 that got canceled. I didn't know at first that HBO had bought the rights back or whatever,
No
and we're
clue.
gonna make one of it. But I did hear about it fairly recently. And yeah, that got canceled.
Dang.
Which I mean,
Ooh.
it's whatever. It's probably for the best. It's never gonna be the same as the next generation or even like the 1980s
I
version.
feel like it would have just been what I imagine Euphoria is.
Yes, I mean I think that's kind of the issue. Is those both can't exist in the same light because they're just the same show. Like,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so bummer, but also I'm not really surprised.
I'll just keep watching all the 2000s episodes. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some things are better
who
left dead.
knows?
Plus, you'd be competing with yourself because you have Euphoria.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And that is the news, everyone. Bit of a shorter week, but that's great because we got a lot of shit to talk about this shit
Yeah.
fucking main topic we're about to get into.
Oh,
So
man.
guys, should we now move into our main topic of the week,
Oh, man.
Let's fucking do it.
which we're in a fortress. This fortress is
You
undefeated.
sound so sad.
Oh my gosh.
Undefeated,
This is very
guys.
interesting. I'm very interested.
We're in a fortress that's,
There-
I guess it's in the Middle East. I can't tell by the main star.
it reminds you constantly that doing bad things can be good sometimes. Just to remind you that you're not always bad when you're doing bad things. You're not bad. Can't be bad.
It's a fortress that, has a big city around it, some ancient ruins, but
it's got a big city, but it's got an even bigger ego at the center of it, which we'll talk
and
about.
it also gets destroyed by, other people when they come in to liberate you.
Yeah, which we will also talk about. All right, we're in the fortress of
Black Adam.
White Adam.
Surprisingly.
Adam.
What was his first name? Tech Adam?
Teth Adam.
Yeah.
Which, listeners, we're talking Black Adam, which is a movie I definitely did not think we would cover as a main topic episode. It just kind of happened, so we're
Okay,
doing
The
it.
Rock. Oh, man. I thought this would be like a primetime one for you to talk about, Oscar, as a DC man.
It's
yourself.
true. I mean, I went and saw it once I was able to see it, but I wasn't gonna make any one of you guys see it if you didn't want to, because I did not think this was gonna be good going into it, and you know what? It wasn't very good as it ended. Which, okay, I'm being a little more harsh than I actually feel because it's fun, but also it's not that great a movie. But I will say it was exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was nonstop action. The plot's real pretty fucking dumb, and The Rock's the worst part of the movie. Everything that I imagined it would be. So by the end of it, I was like, not as bad as I thought. And also way better than both Venoms and Morbius.
True.
And so I was like, okay, this is not the worst movie I've ever seen. This is not the worst superhero movie I've ever seen. Like,
That's
I
true.
had fun with it, with the action and stuff. If you just, and I hate the phrase of like turning your brain off and just enjoying it. I kind of hate that idea, but it's kind of the perfect phrase for this movie.
Yeah, don't dive too deeply into it. Like, there were multiple times when my girlfriend and I turned to each other like, why wouldn't they just
There
do it
are
this way?
plot
It's like,
holes
just
in this movie the size of The Rock.
just don't think about it too hard. It's The Rock.
Yeah. Again, I didn't hate it. It was exactly what I thought. It was fun at times and ridiculous.
Yeah.
110%. I'll talk more about The Rock in a second. So I'll let
Yeah.
you. What did you guys think?
Well, that's what I mean. That's kind of what I got out of it. It was like a fun, mediocre mess. Like, it was just like, okay, it was pretty mid. Mid is what the kids say nowadays, right? But it was like, yeah, I mean,
Right.
very forgettable. The Rock is, I mean, you're basically just here for The Rock. But I think for me, what I took away from it is like DC, I think because of changing leadership and, you can just see the consequences of like their lack of a long-term plan. In like every movie that they do, they try to jam in so much into the movies. Like, whereas Marvel, when you're in direct comparison, because you're directly comparing, you're running against the MCU, but like they had such a methodical plan, and it made the end product so much richer.
Which
And,
I definitely agree with you on most of the DC stuff, but for this one in particular, I fully blame The Rock.
You think so? But I don't know.
Because
like,
I
why?
think all of this is The Rock's plan.
He
You know?
Did he write part of this?
No, but like I think most of this idea-wise is The Rock.
It's based around The
you
Rock
know?
and what his contract asked for.
But
Exactly.
they could have done
we'll
such
get
a
into
simpler
that
plot.
fucking shit.
Like they had to try to create space for the Justice Society. Like they had to try to do some character development for those characters. You could have just erased them from this entire movie.
Oh
and it would
God,
have been
no! This
so
movie would be
much
so much
cleaner.
worse.
I disagree, man. They were trash. Like I
No,
don't
wait,
know.
Oh.
we're getting too far deep into the weeds. We're just talking about Gina Lee right
Yeah,
now.
sorry.
Yeah.
We know we got a lot to talk about when it comes to this goddamn movie. What were your feelings as a whole, Devin? Did you thought it was a
I just
decent
yeah. I
movie?
mean, like
Okay.
it was alright, but like just like there's too. They just packed in too much. Like it was overstuffed. You just trim the fat on that movie, do a simpler plot, and it would be way better.
Do me a favor. Is this better than Thor and or Doctor Strange, in your opinion?
Ooh, they're all so bad.
Devin's.
Just because I feel like you had the worst opinions on both of those movies.
Yeah.
It's worse than Thor, definitely.
Oh, this
I
is
don't
worse than Thor.
know.
What about
Yeah.
Doctor Strange?
I put this on the same level as Doctor Strange. Maybe it's worse than Doctor Strange too.
I'd probably put it on par / maybe a little lower with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I'm saying the other two are still worse because you're Marvel and you're better than this. Like
Ooh,
DC,
that's not fair.
they're still
You
trying to get their
expect
shit
this from
together.
DC.
You know what I mean? Like DC's trying really hard. I feel bad for The Rock.
That's so sad.
But like Marvel, I expect more from you, and that's why the Black Adam for me better than both of those two movies.
That's
There
funny.
you go. They're gonna put that on the fucking box. All right, Brian. What do you got?
Yeah, I think we're kind of all on the same level about our feelings about this. Yeah, this movie fucking sucks.
I see. I thought for a split second I was like, I bet you Brian's gonna love this. I don't know why.
But that's the thing.
I thought for maybe some reason that you would.
But I didn't hate it because it sucked. But it's like it sucked in a not boring way. The story as a whole
Yep.
was fucking
Yeah, there you
trash.
go.
The story's disgusting. I don't know who wrote this, but they have
It's
the
a
writing
great
skills of a
slogan.
toddler. I'm sorry.
It sucked in a not boring way. That is amazing. That's like the perfect way to say this movie. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
But it had some of the better fight choreography I've seen in like recent superhero movies. I told you I've gotten
I will
so
give them that.
tired of the same fucking shooting beams of light at each other and no
Yep.
real fight.
Yep.
Like I feel like Marvel's been getting worse at fight choreography.
They
as
have,
of
they
recent.
have.
And this kind of brought it
Yeah.
back to like it shows you how powerful these characters are, and I think that's super cool.
Right.
Yeah, The Rock's fucking awful in this. He is terrible.
He's the worst part.
And they
He's the
basically
worst
made his
part of the
character
movie.
worse in order to
Wow.
basically, work around his terrible acting skills in this movie.
See, for me, I liked him. Like I liked him more than I was rooting. I
The
was
man's
actively
script was
rooting
one
for him
page.
against.
The fuck? What did you like about him? There's nothing to like. He just existed.
I mean, he's not
Yeah.
a great actor, but like it's
He's
The
not
Rock.
really a character in the movie.
No, he's
Well, that's what I'm
nobody.
saying. Yeah, you never really get a read on him either. But
And that's bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll say spoilers from here on out. So just be aware, listeners. Quickly, let's talk about The Rock since we're talking about him. My
Yeah.
issue with it is he's like worse in this than he normally would be. And I don't think he's a bad actor, but like it's almost like he's doing what he thinks a superhero should be doing.
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Because he is zero charisma for most of this movie. Like he's not even like The Rock in the Fast and Furious movies. Because like in
Yeah.
my head, and it's only because like I thought about this after the movie, and also funny enough, I just watched bits of Fast 5 earlier today, and I was like, this is what he should be doing.
yeah,
Literally in Fast 5, he is an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Fast 5, I guess. He's literally the villain of that movie. And then at the end, he's a good guy, sort of, but he's still after Vin Diesel and the crew. He's the perfect anti-hero in that movie. And I was like, why didn't you guys just do that? But like, no, he
Yeah.
tries to do the whole stoic superhero, I don't give yada, yada, yada. And he's not funny. Like he's maybe like one or two-ish, like kind of comedic lines. But for the most part, he's just grunting his way through this movie. And,
Yeah.
and it's just like, you're better than this, Rock. Come on, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I just he has capability, and that's why I don't understand maybe him or like it seems like they're kind of taking it too seriously. That like, oh my god, we have The Rock. I don't know. Like he's so good at like if you remember the old movie Doom. Like he was such a good villain in that.
Yeah.
And like, why don't they just lean more into that of like, and from his WWE days, like I've said this,
Yeah.
I think on the podcast before, like
Yeah.
he has the capability to be a dick and like for it to be fun and funny. I mean, in this movie, he was just very, very bland.
But I guess his character's
Mm-hmm.
not fun or funny. His character's pretty bland. He's just supposed to be some dude that was a slave for 1,000 and then went to bed for
True.
1,000 years.
I just don't know why they keep shying away from it. Like The Rock is capable of so much more. And
Yeah.
they just
I
keep
agree.
shying away from it. I think because he always wants to be like the good guy.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, and that's what sucks when he's playing a villain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how much he says he's an anti-hero. He's kind of an anti-hero. But Black Adam started as a villain, and that's my biggest issue with this, is that as soon as it started, I'm like, why didn't y'all just do what you did with Loki, what Marvel did with Loki for this character? Like, that's the that's a really
like
good
that.
anti-hero arc right there.
Because they
Loki
have more
starts
time.
out as a villain,
See? They
and
had
then
a plan. They had a whole plan.
I guess, but I also think that's because it's The Rock.
Yeah.
He wants to just go straight to being the good guy, and we'll talk about the end credits, yada yada. He wants to get straight to that, and it's like, dude, this is a perfect setup. If he's the villain in Shazam, then he slowly starts to turn, much like Loki, and then he's the good guy in his own movie.
Yeah.
But no,
And The Rock would be so good at that.
it's like he just wanted to do all of that in this movie.
And like plot wise, he didn't do a single wrong thing in this entire movie.
I think killing a lot of people is a wrong thing, but okay.
They were bad. We killed bad.
Not the bad people, but like I'm pretty sure he was responsible, along with the Justice Society, of killing a lot of people in Gotham.
But he killed. I mean, okay, he blew up the person that murdered his son, and he blew up the whole, the people that were profiting off of, like, in the old days, in the old conduct.
Yeah.
He killed all, like, the slave masters. Nothing wrong with that in my mind. Okay, and then when he shoots to the present day, he didn't do a single. The people that he killed all deserved it. Like, and then and
our morals are showing real hard right now. I'm not saying it's right, but I am saying that I get
because
it.
I love that when they talked about that, and I don't want to maybe get to like the whole dichotomy between him and them yet, like the Justice Society, because like that's a whole thing that we got to talk about. But like the fact that I that's one thing I really liked about his character, was that they were like, he's not afraid to kill some people, and like sometimes you got to do some bad stuff to
because he's a villain. That's normal. It's only the problem when at the end of this movie you're like, nah, he cool now. He cool dude.
But the whole thing of like DC, is it a DC hero thing overall? Because like these Justice Society people coming in here as straight up narcs, like, oh, we don't kill people, they need a fair trial. Like,
that's a
fuck
problem.
off, dude. Like,
I mean, that's the Justice League. That's what that Captain America does that. What do you mean?
Captain America kills people, bro. He kills people all the time.
We watched him throw somebody off that plane.
People in half of that
yes,
shit.
but he's a soldier, so that makes sense. But like, as far as like killing other people, like they try their best not to, and like
you can try your best not to, but they were like going out.
And I'm not thinking Black Adam was trying his best.
He was not trying his best. He was just killing people for the fuck of
it. That's what I liked about him. I don't know, especially in the frame that they put him into. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that was the best part about him, is the fact that he was like, no holds bar. Like, I'll fucking kill him. Like, this guy sucks. I threw him all the way into space, and he just fell down.
Absolutely.
10 minutes ago, he's dead now.
I think that works.
Hell yeah,
he didn't make it. That was my favorite line.
Yeah, that was the only good line in the entire movie. Was that one?
He didn't make it.
No, yeah, I absolutely have no problem. Like early in the movie, well, I will say it's probably one of the best and also the worst sequence in the movie. The slow-mo painted black sequence, where as soon as the song started, I was like, oh no.
That was kind of campy. Like,
I get it. He wears black.
It was like too on the nose. And they also had like later when the Kanye song played, it just felt like they were trying to jam some like
the soundtrack in this movie was not good.
It is
and shout out as the worst possible time to have Kanye in your movie.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That was
as soon as it came
terrible.
on, I audibly went, ooh.
I wonder if there was a discussion at Warner Brothers, like, is it too late? Can we
edit that out?
Oh, that was rough. I was like, oh no.
I bet you The Rock probably picked that song to put in there.
He probably did.
He
they probably had to talk him down from doing his own rap song. They're like, you can't do that. Like, you can't rap.
Oh my god! That would have been awful. That would have been terrible.
I would have walked out the theater. I would have walked out that goddamn theater. Fuck
that. Painted Black. The song choice is terrible, but the sequence is pretty cool. It's like very much like the Quicksilver X-Men sequence, where it's all slow mo. He puts a grenade in a dude's mouth at one point.
Yeah.
Like, it was some gnarly shit. I'm like, fuck yeah, he's doing some bad shit. Like, this is good right here. But yeah, I don't know. Just The Rock overall, I was just like, I've seen you do better.
Yeah, he could have done better.
It just made me think, like, I feel bad for The Rock, sort of, the tiniest bit, in the sense that he's been working on this movie for like 15 years.
Something ridiculous like that.
To get to this, it's just
that's
like,
part of the issue. Is this is the wrong role for him? Unfortunately, like, I know he really wanted to be this role, but this isn't his role.
This is the right role for him 15 years ago. when he was willing to be a bad guy.
And it's not even just about being willing to be a bad guy, but just being a stoic kind of nobody sort of character. But then you look like the fucking Rock. Doesn't really fit or make sense. It's like taking Ryan Reynolds and then giving him one line of dialogue and then making him quiet for the rest of the movie.
Like the first time he played Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine like watching that? Like you would think that was awful if you watched it, but like which it was. That movie was terrible.
He has it. They just got to tap into it more. But he, for whatever reason, is his contracts where he can't be a bad guy or something?
Well, it's the contract. Well, like I don't know if it's that or if it's just his brand. He doesn't want to. But there's like the whole contract dispute about how he can't lose a fight and he's always got to be best at the very end, which sucks because like I hate that we all know that because like watching this movie, it's like I'm never afraid that anything bad will happen to him.
But like Superman could kick his ass though.
But all right, we'll talk about that because I got a huge issue with that. We'll talk about that at the end.
We can wait till we get to the end.
We'll talk about that at the very. Oh, I'm so pissed about that. But
can we just talk about the narc ass Justice
I was
Society,
gonna say, yeah, let's talk about it because when it comes to getting his The Rock not being able to lose a fight, poor Hawkman, dude. Like, he couldn't let Hawkeye win one fight,
sucked.
Dude.
I hated that character. He sucked.
I thought he was good. It just sucks that he got his ass kicked every single time.
That guy was such a clown. Okay,
all he did was cry the entire time. All he did was fuss and cry like a little baby.
And like Black Adam wakes up, right? Takes out all these people that have been like subjugating Kahndaq, right? Like special interests, right? They're extracting the resources. Classic colonialism shit, imperialism. He's liberating the people. He's actively in the process of liberating Kahndaq. And they come in there like, you're a threat. You need to calm down. We're here for international stability. Like in the most like pro-imperialist way you possibly could. And I love that they acknowledge that in the movie where the mom is like, too. We've been here for 27 years and you guys haven't done shit. And now as soon as he comes in and is like helping us out, all you got to come do is come in here. Oh, he's a threat because he's killing people, and they need a fair trial. Like, fuck you.
And I feel
honestly,
like
fuck you.
They should have put more of that into the movie.
Right. That's actually a really interesting aspect of the movie of being like a society that's like looked over as a police state or whatever.
Right.
Like that's how you could have made an anti-hero if the Rock as Black Adam comes out and he's like killing people, and then they show up and like, you can't be doing that. It's like, y'all didn't show up here for 27 years trying to help my people out.
Right.
And I'm here helping my people. Like, but they never do that.
Right. They were never his people. He never talked about being his people. He was just killing people because he thought it was kind of fun.
It was just about revenge.
Like.
And
they just happened to all be bad people.
Exactly.
So he didn't feel bad about them. So there was never any, and that was kind of the thing that made this movie so shitty in the storyline telling of making it be like, oh, he's actually an anti-hero, but he's not an anti-hero. He's not a villain though, because this whole time during the movie, there's never a time that I ever had any like intrinsic negative feeling of being like, damn, is he a bad guy? Is he doing bad things? Every single time he killed someone, I was like, yeah. That guy sucks.
Yeah,
he's going to shoot a child.
There were only like 2 times that I can think of where I was like, all right, he's doing something that's actually kind of bad and really stupid. Is the time when he's trying to find the boy in the little speeder bike, hover bike thing. Because let's face it, if that boy was in the one that Black Adam chased at the end, he's boy dead. Would be fucking mincemeat in that pod. The way it landed and flipped around, and like that kid would be dead. So I was like, what are you doing, Black Adam? That and then at the end when he just goes in there, tries to kill everyone, and the moment where he's like realizes quotes that he did something wrong was when he goes to kill the dude with the crown, and then the boy almost dies, yada yada. The Justice Society have to save the day type of thing. In that moment where but other than that, yeah.
That's the thing. He was so inconsistent, and like he would be like so much like, I got to protect the kid and the mom, whatever. And then he would like do things that would directly threaten their safety, like a lot. So it's like, it was just very odd. Like it was very inconsistent. And that's kind of why he was kind of hard to get a read on.
Also, he has zero respect for their house.
Yeah, just the walking through the walls thing.
There was a perfectly good hole right next to the one you just put in, which I thought was going to be like a continuous joke until the end. And then they never acknowledged it. Like I thought by the end, they would be like, their house is nothing. And like that, the movie's filled with that. There's another one with the whole Hawkman looking at Atom Smasher and being like, me and you, we're gonna talk later.
Yeah, they told that joke exactly twice. And then
like, cringe.
Nothing happened.
An easy funny scene that you could have put in there that you just missed opportunities at jokes. They just never got timing right when it came to the
I don't know if that's like an editing thing or like this is chopped up. Because I know like apparently they had to go through like 17 different edits to bring it out of the R rating, because that's originally what they gave it. Apparently. And so I don't know if a lot of the stuff was on the chopping block or what, but it's just like I don't know what the hell y'all
Interesting.
are trying to do.
I did like the line though, because Pierce Brosnan was like, we do have doors. Like, did you guys have doors in your day?
Right. Yeah. Which he's the best part of the movie for me. Dr.
Dr.
Fate
Fate
is the
kills it.
best part of the movie, and Pierce Brosnan kills it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But his powers were so vague and like weird. Like it was like he just kind of had whatever he kind of needed to have.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
I didn't like
I
that.
liked the multiplying thing, but I kind of wish he did a little bit more. He seemed to just do
Yeah.
that over and over again.
I think they killed him because like, it's like he's one of those characters that's so powerful and the fact that you could know the future just adds a whole time thing to everything he'd be in it.
And like he can come back because comics, whatever. But I kind of saw that as both like it's like a double-edged sword for me in the sense that Hawkman in the comics, depending on the version of Hawkman, which in the one I thought that this was going to be, this one reincarnates every time he dies. So I was like, that's a perfect opportunity for you to kill this character in a dramatic way. But then at the end, it's like, oh, everything's great. Like you get the death, but also the character sticks around. And they
Right.
don't do that. And so I was like, why? What the hell are y'all bitching about? What the hell is going on? And then they killed
He
Dr.
sucked.
Fate. But
That's
at the
an
same
interesting
time,
character.
I probably would have been, I was sadder more about Dr. Fate dying than I would have been about Hawkman.
Oh
So
yeah, Hawkman dying would have meant nothing
Hawkman
to me.
sucked, man. God, I hated him.
I thought the
His
actor was
costume
good.
was stupid.
I thought it actually looked good. I thought maybe the helmet looked kind of wonky every now and then, but for the most part, I thought the wings, I loved the mace turning into an axe, all that shit. I thought Hawkman looked and was dope. I thought what's his name? Aldous Hodge, who plays Hawkman, was good in what he was supposed to be doing.
He was
I
just
think
like
so, too.
so sanctimonious. Like every scene, and like they had to like him and Black Adam would work together, and then they'd be like, "No, but I gotta fight you." But then like, "Oh, we're not done yet."
He
And then it's
just
like,
gets
"Okay,
his
we're gonna work
ass
together for
beat
now for the next 5
over
minutes."
and over.
And then at the end of that 5 minutes, oh, we got to fight again. It's like just like do it all in one thing. That was another thing with this movie. Like it moved the pacing and like the whole thing of like him being detained and like going to that whole thing just to sideline him for like 5 minutes.
That is bad.
Just cut that whole part from the movie and have him debilitated in some other ways. Like that was so stupid.
What's the dumbest part of that? Which, first of all, shout out to the girl, the blonde woman who shows up, who's Jennifer Holland. She has been in Suicide Squad and also the Peacemaker show. So that was a kind of cool through line. She works for
cool.
Amanda Waller. So it's cool to see her. But yeah, the worst part of that is like, why didn't he just say Shazam as soon as he took the mask off while he was down there? Why did he have to jump out and float to the top of the Arctic tundra where he definitely would have died?
I don't know.
Like, why didn't
for
he
dramatic
just say,
effect, you know?
Why? I thought as soon as that mask came off, he was gonna scream Shazam. I was like, what are they doing?
They had to have that stupid moment of this movie is incredibly generic. It is one of the most generic fucking superhero movies on earth, and that was really bad. Like that felt like 2001 fucking hero movie bad of being like, oh, you reunite with your son. Your son's like, no, it's okay, Dad. You're actually not a bad guy.
Oh my god, with the CGI de-muscling of the Rock.
He looks awful. His head is way too big. He looks stupid as shit.
That was so big.
Whoever did that work, you did a bad job. I'm sorry. I know. I hope you got paid well. You need to go back to school and figure out how to fucking do that shit again. Because you did a poor job on whatever masking you did on that. Because he looks stupid. There may be like
2 times where I was like, that's passable, but then the rest, I'm like, oh no, it looks not.
And it was so obvious, right? Even from the very beginning in the flashback, it was so obvious that the father was him.
Listen, Captain America came out how many years ago? And they did a better job than that. It's 2022, man. There's no excuse to be doing this poor of a job anymore. And you also do see his face once. They do cut to his face once in the beginning, and you know it's The Rock. So I thought we always knew that was his son, but apparently that was supposed to be a big reveal. Fucking stupid as hell.
I know. Like literally in the trailer, you see his family die. So I was like, not surprised at all.
I was like, wait, are they flipping this somehow? I don't know. But and then you never really see him in the flashback until he tells the story.
That did not work. But
which was kind of cool. I mean, I do like that as a story plot of like, the kid was like his son was worthy of the powers of Shazam, but then
which is why Black Adam's a villain. He's not actually the worthy one.
Right. And then instantly took an arrow to the back when he did that, which was really stupid too. DC loves having the worst deaths of family members ever. That's on par with the Man of Steel. No, son, don't save me. Let me just stand and
let me just let me not come. Well, this is like something that nobody would ever like remember in a tornado. But that was stupid. Also, I don't think The Rock can cry. Like, I don't think he can act well enough to cry, because I don't think he cried when he was holding his son in his arms, and it felt like I gotta try to put some fake tears in his eyes or something. Nah, I don't think he's capable, man.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know.
Like, all right, Rock. Next scene, you're gonna have to cry about your son dying. Oh,
Just
Cool.
CGI.
He just sits there
Yeah.
and is like,
CGI in.
let me just think about like the next time that I do a 415 set and I just can't quite hit it. Like, okay, I got to get into character here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's just
I shouldn't attack The Rock. I like The Rock. What are we doing? I
I
like The
mean,
Rock.
I kind of like The Rock. I kind of like him less and less every day, I feel.
Every time he tries to sell me something, I get a little bit more annoyed.
Yeah.
He's gonna go on an Elon Musk arc where he just
Right.
becomes a straight
And
up piece of shit.
I gotta say it, and it just because other people in the movie were trying. Why is it that the only dude when you have people in modern day Kondak right now, whatever in the movie,
Mhm.
doing accents, and the only dude who's actually from ancient Kondak, Egypt, Middle East is the only dude not doing an
Not accented at all. Literally, just some guy.
It makes
True.
no sense.
He just instantly knew English. Like,
Even his son was accented. Like the fuck. Like your own son. Who? What? I
that's
know
very true.
there is a version of this movie where he tried, and it was just too bad and too offensive that they had to throw
Because
it away.
like as soon as Adriana, who I will say, man, at the opening, the Sarah Shahi who plays Adriana, in the opening, I was like, yo, she make a good Lara Croft. Not gonna lie, she rocking her best
Yeah.
Tomb Raider right now,
Mhm.
ponytail and all. I was like, all right, I'd see her as Tomb Raider, hell yeah. But like
That
as
was
soon as
cool.
she started talking, it's like, oh, they're doing the accent thing, and then The Rock show up, like, oh,
Hey,
okay.
it's me, The Rock. It's
And
me,
also, I know
Teth
English now.
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Where's your accent, friend?
Brooklyn, no.
Yeah.
He's on Chris Pratt level with that one, man.
I was just
He
like,
didn't give that a good effort.
I'm not surprised, but it is funny.
Yeah.
They didn't want to try him too hard.
Yeah.
No, they knew that was gonna be it. Go nowhere. Also, I really don't love the way we show the Middle East and always have to do exactly the same thing. I'm surprised they didn't start with the fucking flutes and sitars and stuff as soon as they fucking might have. I don't even remember, to be honest. But it's just like, oh, we got to show you that this place is very much the Middle East.
And look, this one kid that likes American culture has a skateboard.
The skateboarding, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put him beside a camel or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
they'd be
yeah,
mad
right.
racist when they do this shit.
I just
Yeah.
could not get over when the Justice Squad comes in there and they're
The
like,
Justice
no,
Squad.
like, oh, Black Adam's a threat as they're actively destroying their
They
monuments, like destroying the
fuck
ruins.
Kondak up.
He's literally liberating Kondak as we speak. As we speak, after they've been
Yeah.
of the yoke of probably Western powers, which is why the Justice Society hadn't done shit. The
Right.
audacity, man. I just couldn't get over the audacity. And I was like, from that point on, I was just like, fuck them. They're completely like just
They definitely seem like Amanda Waller sent them in as like, maybe they'll get it done. If they don't, I got plenty of other people I can throw
Right.
at them. Because it's
Right.
like, you sent in two like newbies, like
Right.
fresh off the street newbies to be like, go fight this god that will probably kill you.
And that's what I was hoping for more.
This would be the mission for a Suicide Squad. Because like it's in a country that, Western powers need to, we got to keep this quiet, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I wanted a more push and pull there first. Like the Suicide Squad, the Justice Society is really. I agree with Devin that it's really poorly fit in this movie to the point where I didn't care. The only reason I care about Dr. Fate is because it's fucking Pierce Brosnan. I didn't care about these
Right.
characters like at all. They didn't even try. Like they tried to make a little
No.
quirky love thing between those two kids whose
Yeah.
names I don't even remember because who the fuck cares about them? They were nothing. And then you just had the black dude that was always fucking, being angry and
Just
upset
angry.
and getting his ass beat. And then you had Pierce Brosnan,
Right.
and that was the group.
Yeah.
And I was like, this ragtag group fucking sucks. And then they also had no real. The only person that really fought him was a Hawkman. Everyone
Right.
else just kind of was like, hey, dude,
mhm.
maybe you should stop doing that, brother. And then that
Yeah.
was it. Like, I want to see him beat all of their asses, like every single one of them.
Right.
I just want to see him beat the shit out of all of them and have that
Yes,
actually be a
yes.
thing to make him appear.
I was actively rooting for him.
Yeah, to make him appear more like he could be a bad guy. Even if you're doing that anti-hero trope or whatever, you still could have
Mhm.
started with that of like, he's hands for everyone, rated E. Everyone gets
Which
hands.
they kind of do in that first fight, because like even when
Kinda.
Adam Smasher shows up and like stomps him with his fist, which I thought was cool, Black Adam still beats them all in the end. He still
Right.
Yeah.
fucking channels his fucking Kamehameha and turns into Super Saiyan and then blows everything up.
Yeah, there just needed to be more of that. I feel like there was
Yes.
really no.
Yeah.
They instantly
Yeah.
just ganged up together to fight the literal devil really quickly.
That's the thing. I think I think they're trying to introduce them for more stuff, right? Because now you can pop them in a CW show. I think
Well, they killed one of them,
Hawkman
so-
in a CW show.
Not this version, no.
Damn, he said he looked like shit. He looked so shit. He might as well be in the CW.
Damn, Devin, that's cold.
That's real cold, man.
I'm just saying, like, I thought maybe they were trying to do something there, but I was like,
I mean, I could see them doing it, and like, I love the idea that we just saw the Justice Society on the big screen. Like, that's kind of amazing. But at the same time, it's like
yeah, but they were
definitely
lame.
missing a few members that should be there and would be a lot cooler besides Hawkman and Doctor Fate. But they didn't
Mhm.
bother me as much. But they definitely were like, they definitely came off as like a ragtag group that didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Right.
Right. From my perspective, I think the whole movie would have been better if they just did none of that and gave Black Adam like a villain, gave him an adversary that was like good enough
Give the
that they could
villain
have
a
kept the
villain?
story
Yeah, okay.
in conduct with conduct people.
They did.
And,
They
like-
did get the villain.
I mean, they did in the
But,
end.
I mean,
yeah.
but keep it about like just keep the other superheroes out of it, and then at the end, set it up for a sequel of like, okay, now we're gonna come and fight Black Adam, right? Like kind of like what they did,
yeah.
just with different
I don't
person.
know.
But I just feel like the whole movie would have been cleaner and more simple if you just take them all of them out of it.
See, my
right?
only issue with that is if you do that in my head, there's way less action, and then it makes you focus
True.
more on the plot and the story, and is dumb.
Which
Yes,
is bad.
yes. And the
I
story
guess
would have
that's
been the
true.
downfall of the entire movie.
So I think
but
that's
fuck.
the only advantage of having them all in there and making this movie nonstop action wall to wall is that you can kind of just go for the ride and have fun with it,
If it did not have the fighting in it, it would have been Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh,
I seriously though, that would have made that. It's the same level of plot
Yeah.
of just being really awful, but there would have been
Mhm.
none of the fun part of watching The Rock kick people's ass.
right.
Yeah, it's true.
Which like I liked Cyclone and Atom Smasher in the JSA. I did think Atom Smasher was a bit too Deadpool for me. It seemed like he was trying to do
yeah.
exactly a Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, being this quirky guy, even to the mask. Which like I mean that's a costume. That's not on him, but like he was basically a caricature. And I thought she was
Like, with
cool.
the
I thought there
white
was
eyes.
like potential depth to that, but just
They-
not enough.
They blew it.
You know?
They just ruined it. They ruined anything.
Yeah, they were both so generic and like forgettable. It was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they tried to give him some character development, like that 30-second scene,
Yeah, there's a lot in this movie that they have like the spices there, and then they drop them on the floor at the last minute, so that it still ends up being
Right.
unseasoned at the end. That was one of the things where they almost made it to be interesting, where they had the little love thing they had
Mhm.
going on and being like both awkward and nerdy and stuff, and then they just like instantly that didn't become a focus ever again, and then like I just didn't care about the
Mhm.
characters really ever again.
I mean, but for me, I feel like that's because they're trying to introduce them for future use.
Probably.
like,
yeah.
When you do it in this way, though, like that's what, the difference between like DC's long-term plan and Marvel's long-term plan is just so like, well, I mean, old Marvel, okay, pre-Endgame Marvel, but like, the fact that they had a plan, like you get introduction to each character, and then when they team up, you know who they are, you know where they're gonna do, you know where
Right.
they come from, right? And now, like DC, they just try to jam so much into each movie. Like, I mean, it goes all the way back to like Batman versus Superman,
Yeah.
like what Justice League. Like they try too much,
Yes.
and it takes away
Mhm.
it detracts from the story because you're overwhelmed.
Because they're trying to play catch up right now with Marvel. At least they
Right,
were trying
yeah.
to for a while. Hopefully, they're getting away from that now.
Again, I also think that this is potentially The Rock trying to get to something that the goal of his, which we'll talk about at the end, is all he wants. And I think that's why this one is very rushed.
Yeah.
And also why
Oh.
he didn't go the path of Shazam, because it's not what The Rock wants. And you got to give
Right.
The Rock what he wants, which, again, we'll talk
Right,
about.
because like he should fight Shazam. That would be awesome to see that.
Yeah, I can't. I'll save it. I'm saving it up. I'm about to fucking explode.
I mean, we're kind of
I
at
don't
the
know.
end, aren't we? We're kind of talking about the end now.
True. Yeah, but no, we got to talk about Sabak for a sec. Hold on. We got to talk about Sabak.
I did want to talk about just around the characters before we do finish up with that. I
Yeah.
don't think no one had lines in this movie. There's only two characters in this movie that have lines, and it's Amon and his mother. They have the most lines in the movie by far. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure
Mhm.
Homegirl and Pierce Brosnan. No one else has lines. The Rock does not have lines. Those two fucking super twins don't have lines. Fucking the black dude has lines. That's
Yeah.
4 people. Everyone else does not talk in this movie. They talk for
There's
one
about
page
like
worth of script.
4 locations in this whole movie, anyway.
And they're
so.
all boring as hell. Every single one of them is fucking boring as hell. And then one is
It's
just
all
hell.
just brown,
I don't understand.
brown Middle East building.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I'm not gonna lie, like one of the sets is the ship, the JSA ship. I did like Dr. Fate strolling out in his like sexy silk robe
Oh, yeah.
at one point. I'm like, what is this happening right
That
now?
was funny.
That ship
Yeah.
looks like the base from the Avengers game. It looks exactly like that. Like I
Oh, it
swear, I
does.
swear I even saw that the command table looks like the exact same command table in that game.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was like, what the
that's
fuck's
really
going on?
funny.
Copying homework. Dr. Fate just didn't give a shit the whole movie. Just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. He was great, though. I really enjoyed him.
Old
I
man
liked
swag.
him.
I
Yeah.
love that fucking Fonzie Henry Winkler is the OG Atom Smasher in this universe.
Oh my
I thought that
God.
was a funny random cameo.
Yeah.
And then as far as The Rock, real quick, his suit. The thought occurred to me in the very beginning when he first shows up. Man, his shoulder titties are out.
Yeah.
Why does it look so weird?
Shoulder titties.
Those traps, man.
It's like it's showing too much shoulder. Like the collar needs to be higher up,
I
but his
wanted the collar
traps
to
are
be so
too
much
big.
tighter.
I guess
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, man.
I wanted the collar to be way tighter.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought that was purposeful.
Kind of
Like
weird.
he was supposed to look like a little like. I think that like the idea was to make him look a little more haggard, but he couldn't because he's the fucking Rock.
Right.
So everything
So
that
that
he does
because
looks
when then he
stupid.
shows up in that actual suit at the end, it's like ooh,
Right, because he's too
Yeah.
fucking pretty. He's too pretty for this movie. Like nothing makes sense. No matter how dirty you try to
Yeah.
make him, he's still just a hot ass man that's ripped
Right.
up like Rambo. Like,
Yeah.
The funny thing is, though, I feel like some people they don't have to do like fake abs and stuff. I literally think that was just like a spandex suit.
yeah, I don't think that man had a bodysuit. I don't know.
That was only him.
Probably not. Probably.
That dude is humongous like that.
There were scenes
Yeah.
where he's like sitting and kind of like injured and stuff. You see his stomach. I was like, is The Rock like? I mean, like I know when you sit, your abs kind of look.
Man
relaxed
probably
and
got
look
roid belly, to be honest.
chunky.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
He's too damn big. He's
he's a big guy. Yeah.
We can call it Samoan genetics, but that's some HGH
Right.
somewhere in there.
I wanted to shout out some cool stuff I actually liked about this movie before we continue to shit on it. I like that they actually put Jaimin Hansu at the very beginning as one of the wizards that gave him the power. So
Yeah.
there's a continuity continuing there, which is
Yeah.
cool for him. Keep getting
Mhm.
keep getting that money, man.
Easy
Also,
roll.
did the wizard? Did he kill Black Adam? Killed all the other wizards except him
Who fucking knows?
Yeah,
I
that
because
guess-
they
scene
all
was-
look dead. At
I
the end of
guess
that,
so. I guess he somehow survived.
Which
Yeah.
is just wild. Anyway,
I do think it was a missed opportunity. And again, it's because we didn't know which Hawkman this was. Because in the comics, Hawkman is from the Middle East. I don't know if it's Egypt specifically, but could be like the original, before he reincarnates over and over again, the original Hawkman gets his powers in the Middle East. And I thought that would have been kind of a cool connection you could have made to
Yeah.
Black Adam, the character. But I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, to make some more beef.
Yeah, it's like, I know you. You killed me 2,000 years ago or whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
so I'm a
Or
win
like
this
they come
time,
from like rival countries, and it's like,
Yeah, I
oh,
don't know.
Kondak conquered my people long ago. Like,
Instead, they
Yeah.
made him another nobody
That would've been cool.
that just is mad at him for existing.
Yeah. Speaking of nobody and nothing who cares, let's quickly talk about the Crown of Sabak and Sabak.
God, that fucking is just the storyline when it comes down to it is so fucking boring. Because of course it's like, oh, I'm the ancestor of the god that threw, and then he made me do this thing.
which
so now I want
you
to be
could
the
see
devil.
from a million miles away.
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw the man's dark ass eyes, you knew that was a bad dude. Like, fuck.
I do think it was funny because
Boring.
that's the same guy that played Jafar in the Aladdin live action.
Is it really?
I like
Good for
that
him.
he was just another big red CG guy at the end. And I was like, yo, Jafar's back.
At least change it to purple or something.
Shout out to him though, getting his money. Already getting
Yeah, hell
typecasted.
yeah.
That kind of sucked. But
Also,
Right.
that CGI model looked absolutely nothing like him. Like they just like that was just like a generic. Like they just looked up like Satan on
yeah,
Google. and
that was
like,
definitely
let's do
a
that.
pre-made asset that they just bought.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. He looked like a Kunari from Dragon Age.
yeah, he did.
It definitely looked like a video game thing.
Yeah.
I will say what was cool. I did like that Bladum ripped him in half. I was like, that was kind
That
of
was
brutal.
That was pretty brutal.
Just call
Holy
him
shit.
Bladum. Is that what we're coining it now? Instead of Black Adam,
Bladum.
we're gonna call him Bladum.
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm into it. Yeah, Bladum.
It rolls off the
Yeah.
tongue. Yeah, but it's like the Sabak was like whatever, generic as hell.
He wanted
Dr.
the
Fate
crown
dies.
because he wanted
Hawkman then
powers.
uses the Dr. Fate power. Cool. And then Adam shows up with a cape, and he gets to say the catchphrase that he was struggling so hard to say the entire fucking movie. That
The
through line.
catchphrase was terrible. It was the worst catchphrase ever. And telling the man in black sent you. All right, man.
Right.
Put that one to bed. Maybe try again.
Yeah, whatever.
Ugh.
But the other half of that, because gotta have the humans doing something. They fighting some really terrible looking CGI skeletons.
Yeah, they fight.
Yeah.
They go to the Walking Dead and then believe in community, and no one fights anybody.
Yo, when they threw up the rock, oh my god, wow! When that kid, first of all, that kid was pretty good throughout the whole movie, except for that moment.
Yes.
I don't know what it
Mhm.
was. Those lines were terrible.
I was inspired to go fight. for survival. I was like, you know what? I'll just die. Like this
I'm
is it.
just,
Like if this is the best we got for a motivational speech, like I'm done.
I don't
Good.
even know if the
them dire-
zombies swung on anybody. They didn't even get a chance. They just walked around, instantly got the shit beat out of them, and disappeared. And that
It
was
really
it.
didn't seem like Sabac's whole plan was that bad because it's like, this is it? Okay. We can
Right.
handle this.
Right, like they're not even having real weapons. They're using like a tire iron, and
Yeah.
like I think one of them just had like one of those cardboard like pipes that that a poster is in. I'm pretty sure that wasn't even that much, and like they were still killing those skeletons.
One guy had a golf club. Another character whose name I will never remember, but was supposed to be the comedic relief, but then only shows up at the beginning and then at the end, and then really.
Oh,
not
her
much, I guess.
brother,
Yeah.
Kareem. I will say,
Yeah.
I kind of liked
I
him.
liked
I
him.
thought he was good. And
I
the
liked
moment
him.
where because Dr. Fate says you die by electricity, I love that he just thinks he's immortal because he's like, there's no electricity here. I'm a god. I kind of love that.
That was funny. Yeah, stay away from electricity. He's like, I'm an electrician.
He was funny, but I just think that they used him weirdly. They didn't use him
Yeah.
enough. I didn't
Yeah,
like,
and the vibe of the movie, like anytime he came in, you wouldn't like, because it wasn't like Guardians where like it's funny throughout. It was like, oh yeah, that's kind of funny, but I'm more distracted by the other more intense stuff going on right now.
he was
Right,
kind of the
right.
happy of the movie, but then he just kind of he got shot and then just kind of disappeared for
Right.
way too long.
Yeah,
When you kind of forget about him, then he pops back up and you're like, oh, we're supposed to care about him. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Sabak was gonna shoot that little boy. He pulled the trigger.
He
He was
really
about to blow that kid's fucking brains out. What is wrong with that dude? It was not
he's
that
the
serious.
devil, so
And then he just like went down that little pole, which he absolutely could have followed him into, like the little like hole in his like room under his
Right.
like cabinet. And he like just saw him go in. It's like, oh, I can't fit in. I can't. Oh, I gotta search the whole building.
You're a
It's
pretty
like,
skinny dude, bro. Like you could just get in there. Like
you also
Right.
have a gun, and this is like all plywood. You could shoot a few shots. You're probably gonna be
Although
okay.
I did like how smooth that kid was with those skateboard moves. I was like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
get his parkour going.
I hate when they can't actually skateboard like the actors, so then they have to like put like weird stunt doubles or cut it weird. Because that kid, whenever he was about to ollie, they always cut because he can't actually ollie. And that was pissing me off. I was like, God damn, this feels so 80s fucking TV show bullshit.
I'm a cool kid on a skateboard.
And also, that was one of the worst scenes in the show, in the movie, when he was going down the stairs and he kept putting the skateboard down, rolling on it, and then having to take the stairs down. And then getting on the skateboard and then rolling on it. Why were they doing that? What was the point of that?
Yeah, that was
Also,
that's
he was
bad.
completely fine in that vent. Why didn't you just stay in the vent? And he's like, they're still looking down the staircase. I guess I should go in this very obvious
Yeah, that was bad.
staircase and go all the
Who
way down. It's like,
approved those shots? And who thought that looks good, ship it? Because that was
Rock.
stupid. That was
The Rock.
The
bad.
Rock.
That was so bad.
It was really bad. Yeah.
This movie, like, The Rock's been waiting 15 years for this. This movie feels like it was made 15 years ago.
Did The Rock shoot it? Because it feels like it sometimes.
I also feel like if you're having an intense chase scene with a skateboards are not good for changing direction. So you should really be able to outrun them when they try to turn
Skateboards
left or right.
Aren't even that
You
fast.
should be able to like catch up.
I know, right?
It takes a lot of
I feel
effort
like
to
you
go
should
in-
just run.
Yes, running would be more efficient than skateboarding.
Unless you're
in every
going
situation.
downhill.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about the plot of this movie. Do you guys have anything else before we move to the mid-credit scene?
Nope. Let's do it.
All right, so The Rock wins because it's in his contract, and
Surprise, surprise.
and he does the cool pose on the throne, like in the comic cover, whatever.
Mhm.
Post credits. I will say, I paid $15 for 15 seconds of Superman, and this movie is a perfect movie, and that's all I cared about.
That's no notes.
Yeah,
The Witcher could die so that Superman could live.
yeah, that's
Listen,
a
Witcher had
small
to die.
sacrifice we must make.
As someone that still has not watched a single episode of The Witcher, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Henry Cavill shows up. I'm mad I got this spoiled for me. Obviously, everyone was talking about it on the internet, but it was still very exciting to see him show up. The whole Amanda
Mhm.
Waller's like conducts your prison now, basically, and he says no one can stop me on this planet. She's like, oh, I got some. Let me call in a favor, and he shows up, and then he says we should talk. That's not gonna be a good talk, I would imagine, considering The Rock just wants to fight
But, like,
Superman.
Where do we go from here? Because we've already seen this fight. It was Zod versus Superman and Man of Steel. So like we've already seen what this would look like. So like,
And this is
do we go
where
from here.
I have to go on a bit of a rant. Not like I haven't already been ranting about this movie, anyways. My issue with this is the whole reason The Rock has been wanting to do Black Adam.
Yep.
It's just so he can fight Superman. That's why he doesn't care about Shazam or this movie. And that's what sucks. Because it doesn't feel like he actually cares about the comic character. He just cares about the idea of having someone that he can fight Superman with. And that's how you can see it with this movie. That's why it's like it doesn't feel truthful or anything. And like,
All right.
because if it were, like I was saying earlier, he should have been the bad guy in Shazam. and then eventually turn, and then you can
Mhm.
make him an anti-hero and or fight Superman. But it's like, why do you want to go immediately to Superman? I don't really care to see that. Mostly because knowing The Rock, he's gonna think and want to beat Superman. And it's just like, dude, no, that's not how that shit's gonna go down.
Right.
Superman would kick the shit out of you in the end, and I'm worried that
Yeah.
he's not gonna do that, and it's gonna be shitty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely, 100%. Or it's gonna be a fair fight. Like, oh, we're both the
Yeah.
same, and it's like, no, you're not.
But like, is Black Adam even that powerful in the comics? Like,
I
I
mean,
didn't
he's
like
very
he was
powerful, and he has a point that he is magic, which is one of Superman's weaknesses. But still, Superman would still beat Black Adam.
yeah.
Man, nerds are mad at you right now for saying that shit.
But he had
No.
like every power that Superman has. Like he had super speed, he had flying, he had strength. He didn't have the laser eyes
They did show
or
that
X-ray
he's
vision
very fast.
or blowing cold ice. I feel like that's an underused power by Superman.
True.
He should definitely use the
Yeah.
the cold blowing more.
Yeah, okay. Let's soundbite that, Devin.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's
He should
a-
do some more some cold blowing. Some
My
more
man
cold
loves
blowing.
cold blowing. Yeah, just like me, honestly. Yeah, I don't know how I feel
Oh,
about
no.
Black Adam's powers because they're just lightning. And I'm like, what else can you do, bro? I'm kind of
I mean,
fast.
Shazam.
Yeah.
He's got, he
Yeah.
can fly. He's got strength, speed, endurance.
Do they
and then
consider
the lightning.
Shazam on the same level as Superman? I thought they were considered like comparable as far as like.
They are.
Ability.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's the only reason why he stands a chance against Superman is because his powers come from magic, which is a weakness of Superman.
Mhm.
Right.
But he still would never actually like beat Superman because he's Superman.
Right.
That's just how
Yeah,
it
exactly.
goes. But I feel like all The Rock wants to do is be the best, strongest motherfucker in the room. So he's gonna want to beat Superman, and that's not good writing. That's just you having an ego.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he actually did
Mhm.
say in some interview that he could beat that Black Adam can beat Superman. That Black Adam's stronger canonically. Or
Yeah.
some dumb shit like that.
Of course he's gonna say that.
But is he?
And everyone got mad at him for it.
And like also in the comics, is Black Adam, does he actually become like is he a pure villain or like is he just like
Yes.
because it did kind of leave it like all I care about is conduct.
I
And
read for
that'd be cool.
the first 60 years of his publication, he was a straight villain.
Yes, he's a menace. He was like Shazam's ultimate villain. He was nothing but a nuisance to Shazam. And then eventually
yeah.
he became more of an anti-hero. Yeah.
He's a Shadow the Hedgehog.
Because I
Yeah.
think it would be cool if it's like all I care about is the protection of conduct. So it's like maybe Lex Luthor comes with a really good deal. Like, hey, I'm going to bring business to conduct if you go, if you fight the Justice League with me. And he's like, well, I like beating up super people too, so that's pretty great. But then the Justice League comes like 2 months later, like, hey, we can bring business to conduct, create jobs, whatever. If you do this,
You're
And he's
writing
like,
a
you know
real
what?
shitty. Why are you
Cool.
writing about the fucking?
This does not seem like I want to watch this movie.
It's the Wolf of Wall Street of fucking
Right.
DC
We're
universe.
talking about geopolitics and economic systems.
Fucking Lex
and
Luthor comes in
conduct.
there, fucking business posing. Let me give you a proposition.
Listen up, Warner Brothers.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we could bring up the infrastructure, the GDP by at least 3 points. Hear me out.
Listen, The Rock's acting ability, we need him in a boardroom talking about conduct's economy.
You know,
Okay?
The Rock
That's
don't
what we
want to
need.
wear a suit. You
But then he
can't
can
see his
flex out of it.
arms.
Oh my God. I love in Fast 6 when he just flexes the cast off. That's just like, give me some more moments like that in Black Adam. You know what I
There's
mean?
no
Just
way
give me,
they're
like,
gonna let that fly. They wanted to be serious.
yeah, like if this movie's not going to be something good, just at least let me laugh at it. Like,
Right.
If I'm being
Yeah.
so over the top. Yeah. I mean, that's what
yeah.
won Fast and Furious. Maybe they could have done it here. That's why Aquaman, I think, did so well because it's just a fucking balls to the wall the entire
It's
time.
ridiculous
crazy movie,
comic
too.
book nonsense. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my biggest thing with Superman. I'm happy he's back, but I'm slightly worried that Henry Cavill is going to get stuck in another terrible writing scenario because The Rock just wants to fight him.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%.
And also, like, I mean, the extended universe is in shambles right now. Like, are they going to get Ben Affleck back?
I don't
Or-
know, but well, I mean, we talked about it last week. You weren't here about James Gunn is now one of the co-CEOs of the new DC studios. So he's now the head of all DC stuff as far as movies, TV, and animation. And so it might
James
be.
Gunn?
Yeah. Did you not hear about that? Oh shit! Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't
Yeah.
here last
I
time.
mean,
was he?
I must have like not been listening at that
Oh,
point.
were you
but
there? I can't remember.
He wasn't here last week. No.
I wasn't here, but I listened to the episode. But that's
Yeah.
oh.
James Gunn failed up, brother. Let's go.
But he didn't. I don't think he did a great job with his Suicide Squad movie. So
See, I think
don't
he
know.
did. So, did you ever watch Peacemaker?
No, I didn't.
You should watch Peacemaker.
I'm not seeing it.
It's real good.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm hoping with him and maybe he can outweigh The Rock a little bit. I don't know.
That shit. Well, just real quick though. That shit would be hilarious if like The Rock fights Peacemaker and he just fucking incinerates
Just
him,
kills
like,
him instantly.
just rips him in half, like just like The Rock did in WWE, like just like John Cena, you are not on my level. Like,
Oh
he
my
just, like,
god, that would be so.
like swats him into a wall and he just like splatters into a wall. It's like Peacemaker's just dead. Like that would be funny.
I would
Yeah.
like
But
to see
see,
that.
they could do like some WWE, like, you know, trash talking before they fought, and then he would just like, you know,
Just
slap him like a
instant.
fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what I
That'd
kind
be
of wanted
fun.
with the whatchamacallit, the post credit scenes. I wanted to just like completely just cuck us and be like, yeah, we got someone else that's gonna take care of you, and it's just fucking Batman. Like
Right.
it's fucking Ezra Miller's Flash. Like
Oh,
Oh
where do they go
shit.
now?
Oh,
Where
shit.
do they go now?
someone else that we won't be seeing in I'm sure new movies.
It's just like Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, I don't know what's
Oh
gonna.
my
There's gonna be a
God.
lot of new faces in that Justice League. That
Poor DC. Like, I feel bad, man. DC, Marvel's just over here killing the game. Like, I haven't seen a non-superhero movie. And, you know, like Avatar might be the first one in a while. And then DC, you know, you try so hard. You get right. You know, you try to copy. You try to do a live action, you know, movie stuff. You have some successes, and then you're building an entire franchise around an absolute psychopath that's going to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll see.
and that was
but,
ready to be their one win, which they haven't
Yeah.
had one in a while because
Yeah.
apparently they didn't know what worked about Wonder Woman because they tanked that instantly.
mhm.
Shit's
Yeah.
sad. It makes me sad because I do love these
It
characters,
is sad,
but
man.
it makes me.
I feel bad for DC most of the time, and when I'm watching their movies, I usually feel bad for them of like the fact
Right.
that they even try.
Look, I'm
And then it's like
hoping
Ezra Miller just has to kidnap people. Like
that this is going forward. Something good would happen with Superman and Henry Cavill being back, and knowing that he wants a more joyous and more traditional Superman, and he's excited to talk to James Gunn about all this stuff and everything. I'm hoping that this is a path forward, even if it takes years. DC, take a break. I don't care.
Yes, honestly.
Take a break. Get your shit
honestly,
together.
yeah.
But I'm
Yeah, take a
mostly
break.
just with The Rock thrown in there in the mix, and just like people just let him do whatever the hell he wants. Which again, I have to thank him. He's the main reason Henry Cavill's back as Superman, as far as we know.
Right.
He kind of
Mhm.
bullied them into getting him back. So I'm thankful, but at the same time, I don't want you to get him just so you can beat the shit out of him for your own ego's sake and make a bad movie.
It's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be like a Kong, you know, Godzilla situation where like they fight each other to like a stalemate, and then
Yes.
Doomsday shows
It's
up.
gonna be it's Goku
Yeah.
Vegeta is what's gonna happen there, or either he's
Yeah.
gonna get beat up, like he's gonna lose Henry Cavill, and then just be like, I wasn't using my full power, like I was
Right,
just playing
yeah.
around, man. Like I don't. It's gonna be some
Honestly,
shit
I
like
was
that.
playing around.
Yeah, it's gonna be
When I
some dumb
said
shit like that.
85%,
Yeah.
I meant more like 100.
That's what I think. This movie would have been a great anime. Like it reminded me a lot about the Dragon Ball Broly movie. To be honest, like if they just took out the storyline completely and it was just straight hands of just superheroes fighting, probably would have been a much better movie. Like,
Yeah.
Can we get a dark tournament
right.
superhero
Honestly,
movie? That would be cool.
honestly, yeah. Just make a tournament or something. The tournament arc in every anime is always the best arc.
It's
Just do it in
always
movies.
awesome.
So
Yeah, we need more tournament arcs in Secret Wars. Secret Wars, maybe.
maybe.
Right. Just Mortal Kombat at all.
Hell yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
that's why Mortal Kombat movie wasn't atrocious. I mean, a lot of people thought it was like real bad, but I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, it was fine.
The worst part was when they told a story. Whenever they
I
told a
mean,
story,
Black
did tell
Adam
a
did
story.
perform a fatality on Sabak at the end of this movie.
this is
So
true. He ripped that man apart.
True.
This movie was supposed to be rated R 100%. They
Yeah.
took the blood out when he was incinerating people.
I
and
wish
stuff.
that had been.
Probably.
It might have been better if it was.
it
I agree.
probably would have. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because the first thing I
Yeah.
saw when I saw, I was like, "Damn, this is gruesome." Like, oddly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we'll see what the hell is going to happen with the future of Black Adam, Superman, the JSA, maybe. I don't know. Just DC in general. No one knows
Yeah.
what the hell they're doing.
That's nice. You know, that's the thing. The maybe nice thing about DC. You never know what they're going to do
You
next.
never
Like,
know what you're gonna get.
That's for damn sure.
Are we going to throw in Robert Pattinson's Batman? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's
that
like
movie slapped.
Christmas with them.
I'd love to see more of that. Put Henry Cavill in there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Again, I was way more negative than I probably felt after this movie. It was kind of fun, but it's like it's
Mhm.
exactly what I thought.
Right.
You know,
I'm
and
not
I-
mad
yeah.
at the 2 hours that I lost. Will I watch it again? Absolutely not.
Right.
Maybe
right.
it comes on TV
Yeah,
and
probably
I happen
not.
to be standing around and I see it. I might watch 20 minutes.
Then
of
I'm
it,
too
but-
lazy to
I
change
think
the
I think I
channel.
would change the
You know what
channel.
I mean? Like that's all it's gonna come
Yeah.
down to. This movie's forgettable. By next week, I'll probably even forget that I even watched it.
Right. Bring back Dr. Fate. That's all I'll
Yes,
say.
Dr.
Bring back
Fate is the only thing worth
Yes.
it. Give him a TV show or something. I don't know if y'all want to do that kind of stuff.
I can't believe that helmet
Mhm.
and costume looked as good as it did. So
Yes.
bringing him back.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. That's Black Adam, guys. Shall we now move on to our final segment of the week,
Let's do it.
Mhm.
Get me away from this weird, roided up man.
which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners. We kind of do whatever we want. We can recommend something. We can talk about our day. We can talk about our life. Say whatever we want. It is free for all. Who would like to go first?
I got a real quick one. This is mainly for Oscar.
Oh boy, you're gonna break my heart.
Yes.
No, actually, I think
Oh.
you'll be happy.
Oh.
So my girlfriend has been on a kick recently. She hasn't seen any of the DC movies.
Oh.
And now
Oh, no.
we are rewatching. She asked me last night, can we just watch Batman versus Superman?
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, yes, but we also, it was funny because we started watching Man of Steel, and I actually really, I can't remember when the first time I saw Man of Steel was, but like I was really enjoying Man of
I
Steel.
like that movie.
This time around.
That's
I
fine.
It's a
enjoy it.
great movie.
Yeah.
Like I thought I really liked the aesthetic of like the Kryptonians and
Yes.
like just visually, it's
The
very
first
cool.
like half of that movie is great, and then it kind of starts to slow down a little bit. But I still
Yeah.
think overall, I really enjoy that movie. Yeah.
That's one of their better ones for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really funny because we stopped it twice. So once was when like right before we started flying, and I was like, that's a pretty good stopping point.
Mm.
And we still haven't finished it. And there's about 30 minutes left. And it's like in the climax of the movie when he's like fighting
Oh,
the
wow.
war machine thing. And I was like, she's like, can we just stop it now? I was like, it really no. Like this is a horrible stop. Like
No.
the first one was a good stopping point. This is a horrible stopping
Yeah.
point. However, we did stop it. We have about 30 minutes left. And then she's like, can we just start Batman versus Superman? I was like, you haven't seen how the other one
Wow.
ends.
That's the most chaotic energy I've ever heard.
That's
I
so
love
fucking
it.
funny.
But anyway, but she's watched Justice League, Man of Steel, and then I think we have to watch Batman vs Superman, which I actually am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Batman warehouse scene.
Batman v Superman's fucking
Great.
Very
sucks.
cool.
That movie sucks dick.
Yeah,
it's I wish your show's better. I don't hate it as much as most people, but yeah,
the actual like Batman vs Superman part is the worst part, but all the rest of it's like
probably.
it's all right.
I love that, and I remember you texted me maybe a couple weeks ago when you told me that she, without you saying anything,
Mhm.
decided to watch the 4-hour Snyder
Yes.
cut
Yes.
on her own. And I'm just like, one, why?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? Is everything okay at home? Why would you want
Was
to
she
do this?
abducted by an alien? Like, what compelled her?
Mhm.
And two, that she just got a million cool points. That's amazing.
I like this
I need
shit,
to-
and I didn't even
yeah.
want to do it.
Wait, did she watch it?
I think she hasn't finished it.
I'm not
But I'll
surprised.
ask her. But I will ask her. But I also need to start texting you her like just random comments throughout the movie.
Oh yes,
because they're
please
pretty
do.
great.
Send them my way. Absolutely, I
They're,
love
know
that.
they're
they're
hilarious.
fantastic. Yeah.
Then just like I could also be surprised if she like watched like 2.5 hours and said, I'm done. Can we watch Man of Steel?
Watch Man of
Considering
Steel.
she didn't want to watch the last 30 minutes. That's amazing, Devin. I love it. I love it.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
God, I didn't think anyone actually wanted to watch Batman v Superman seriously, like not ironically.
Watch the ultimate cut. It's better. I'm just saying.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
I can go real quick. I'm just kind of bragging a little bit because I bought a thing and I don't buy things very often.
Ooh.
It was not a PlayStation, don't worry.
Oh. Sad.
But I did buy a new monitor, and I want to talk a little bit
Oh,
about one of
okay.
those things that like it definitely like the PC Master Race shit is always nonsense or whatever. Fucking play what you enjoy is whatever. But whenever you like get things that are like super new and fancy and like actually increase things, usually it's bullshit and it doesn't actually like help your life or day to day. People are just talking shit to make themselves seem better. I will tell you, higher frame rate monitors are really fucking cool and they really fucking
Oh,
help a lot when
yeah?
it actually comes down to things. Because like right now the standard is starting to become 60 FPS for like most consoles. Some
Right.
random games are still 30, which really kind of sucks. 30 is getting pretty archaic right now. PC's been 60 frames for I don't know, like 10 years now. It's been a really long time. It's been 60 frames. It's been the standard for most
Mhm.
video games on PC. I bought a 240 frame monitor with
Whoa.
1 millisecond of input lag.
Oh
'Cause that's what people
shit.
use for like competitive gaming and stuff like that. And I've just been lazy about getting one because they've always been expensive.
Right.
But this one was fairly cheap, only $150 in comparison to 300-400 people would
That's
normally.
not bad
consume.
at all.
Yeah, so
Holy
I had
shit.
to jump on that deal to get it. And holy shit, I didn't think like after 60 frames, I didn't think it'd make a sizable difference. It's like cutting butter with a hot knife, dude.
Wait, time out real quick.
That's amazing.
Did you use it to play Paw Patrol Kart Race or whatever you said? Did it enhance that game?
I did not. I uninstalled that game as soon as we talked about it. That game was fucking miserable and such an insult to children's intelligence. But I did use it.
Sorry, continue.
I played Halo on it. I've been playing Overwatch. I play a little bit of like World of Warcraft stuff like that. And yeah, dude, it's you can truly actually notice the difference. I don't know if there's a big difference between like 120 and 240,
Right.
but going from 60 to 240 is basically like seeing into the future. Like I feel like I'm a fucking
Damn.
like I don't know. I definitely feel like my skills have gotten better. That could just be bullshit when it comes to just shooting and aiming in video games.
Right.
There's just more frames to work with.
Damn.
Yeah, highly recommend
Damn.
for people that do enjoy PC gaming. Yeah, go ahead and make that switch, dude, because it
That's
feels
I
really
good.
will
dope.
I will make
Nice.
that switch
Because
as soon as I get Rocket League on as soon as I build a PC just to play
Just
Rocket
like
League.
Rocket League.
I will get
Listen,
that.
all those kids doing those cracked out zoomer shit, they're doing that on a 240 frame monitor for sure. They're getting all those frames so
Ooh.
they can fucking fly across the map and get a goal backwards or whatever. I don't know. That game was crazy.
Music to
That's
my
nuts.
ears. You sold me, Brian. Just shut up and take my money.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
have a
gotta
lot of fun
ask
with
now, because you had a 2 monitor setup before,
it.
right? Are
Yeah.
you rocking 3 monitors now?
Oh no, I'm still doing 2 monitors. I could do 3 monitors if I really wanted, but also
I kind of wish you did.
I also live in a fucking box, so I need a lot more desk in order to have a third monitor. Even I could put it like on top or something crazy like that.
I want your apartment to just be a wall of
I
screens.
want to say technically I do have 4 monitors in my home right now, so I could really get crazy with it. And they're all different sizes and shapes, which just makes it even funnier. So I'd really
That
look
is
like a
so
fucking
funny.
hacker man
Yeah.
in his fucking
Hacker man.
dink ass apartment.
Brian, the good news is now that you have 3 screens, you could theoretically watch all 3 extended cuts of Lord of the
At the
Rings
same
All
time.
at the same time.
Listen,
Yeah.
my ADHD brain would be going fucking nuts over that, dude. All the fucking overstimulation, all those crusty hobbit lips.
And then on the 4th monitor, you can have the Rings of Power playing again.
Yo, I don't know if I'm gonna watch season 2 of that show. I'll be real with you.
It
Very
might,
fair, very
it
fair.
might just be me and Devin for
It
that one.
might be you and Devin for that
Yeah.
one. We'll see.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, congrats. That's dope as hell. I'll have to come check that out at some point. 'Cause
Hell
that, yeah, sounds amazing. My free for all. I just didn't do much, but I did like for the past 2 days, I just compiled a bunch of like how Marvel and mostly Marvel, but some of the DC they have those like assembled like 1 hour ish documentaries on each of the movies and or shows on Disney Plus. They kind of list. I've talked about them a bit in the past.
Uh-huh.
I've been
Mhm.
behind because I just like there's been so much content that I didn't watch any of them. So I went back because I had all these shows for finally ending. So I was like, oh, what am I gonna watch now? So I went back and I watched through like 6 of them or something. So I finally went back and watched the Doctor Strange behind the scenes one, the one about Miss Marvel, the Obi-Wan Kenobi one, the Thor Love and Thunder one, She-Hulk one, and then the one that just came out. Actually, She-Hulk just came out this week as well. But also right after that, the day after came out was the Werewolf by Night one. And they're all really cool. They're all like 1 hour ish. They're all a lot of fun, a lot of stuff that I love to watch, a lot of making of and behind the scenes stuff. One in particular, though, that was very different compared to the other ones was the Werewolf by Night one, which is titled Director by Night, and it's I like it, and also wish I had the more traditional behind the scenes because this one was definitely more about the director's life with Michael
Oh.
Giacchino, which it's cool because this is his first time directing. He's a composer. He's composed a lot of Marvel stuff, and he also did like the music for Batman, the Robert Pattinson one. But he's never directed anything, and this was his first foray into that. But the coolest thing about it, besides, is that his brother is the director of the documentary, which you would think is like, oh, that's a weird choice, but no, his brother's actually an Academy Award winning documentary director.
Oh, I love that for him.
Yeah, so I was like, oh,
Also,
that's
fuck this family. Stop being so goddamn talented. Get out of here.
for real.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, god damn, dude. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of really cool, that aspect. So it's in completely different than all the other regular ones, and so it's more about his life. Like his parents are in it. There's a lot of old, like Super 8 footage of him and his brother making movies with their friends as they were kids,
Mhm.
and it's more like his journey as a human being to getting to this point and making this little Marvel one-off special. And so it's really cool. It's very intimate. Again, I kind of wanted to see more of the actual behind the
The
scenes
actual
of this thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in both headspaces where I really enjoyed the personal journey that I went on in this documentary. So
It wasn't
was
what you
very cool.
expected. So
Exactly,
that gives
exactly.
you like a little bit of a neg. But I think if you had known going in that it was gonna be like that, you'd be like, ah, that's cool.
Right. And I do think it's a point where it's not called Assembled, which is what all of the other Marvel documentaries are called. So I guess that was your clue, and it's not exactly the same thing that we've done with these other ones.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was
Mhm.
still very cool, very intimate. They like at the end, spoilers, I guess, for this, not really, it's a documentary, but like they bring back most of some of those childhood friends in that footage you see,
Oh,
and you get to see them have a conversation. It's like, oh, this is where we shot this dumb movie we were making as kids, yada yada yada. So it's really cool and really sweet. And it's yeah, I really dug it.
That's
I'll have to
cool.
start watching some of
That
those.
does
I
sound
do
fun.
like the
Yeah.
behind the scenes, kind of like how you make these kind of things. That's always really interesting. I also
Yeah,
just like documentaries.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
not gonna watch the Doctor Strange one. I can tell you that for a fact.
Yeah.
I don't care how they made that. Neither do I care about how they made Thor.
Yeah, I really don't care at all.
A
Or
lot of
Obi
fun
Wan, to be
tidbits in
honest.
there that I was surprised by, though. But yeah, yeah, I get you. I get
Maybe I
you.
care about Obi
Do
Wan.
not care.
Obi Wan. The show sucks, but I do like the world.
That one I was mostly looking forward to because there's a lot of stuff with like Hayden and obviously even
Yeah.
McGregor and a lot of their journeys to coming back and doing that. So I thought that
Mhm.
was a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, that's the show, listeners. Thank you for joining us. You can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com, Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, or recommendations or anything like that you have for us. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channel at the Fortress of as well. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Tell everyone to go see Black Adam because The Rock needs help.
He's not the highest paid actor in Hollywood right now. He needs your money. Please buy Terra Mana.
It didn't bomb, did it? But it
It
like
didn't bomb, but I don't think it did that great. It's
it did it
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's kind of what it deserves. It deserves like a medium reception, you know.
Basically. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art. Thank you, Alex, for the music. Devin, thank you for being here even when you're not here. We love you all. You can find Brian on Instagram at ITZ_ by the way, Alex at Peterson Films. And Devin, you can find him #1 Black Adam fan. Fuck the Justice Society. I love Black Adam.
Down with imperialism.
You can find him in Conda.
Don't stop people from actively liberating a place as they're liberated. That is just the most clown shit I've ever seen in a superhero movie. He's a threat.
Next week, listeners, we're going to what I'm hoping is the much better movie with the word black in the title.
Hey.
Yeah.
Try to do drums.
Wakanda Forever. Prepare to cry, I would imagine.
Oh no.
Here we go. All the feels. Happy holidays, everyone. And put a coat on. It's cold out there.
Not so much. We love global warming, baby.
There's Brian's weather for the day.
The
All right,
world's
everyone.
exploding. We're all gonna die sooner than we expect. This.
Oh, let me
sucks.
tell you, you need some coats in Flagstaff, Arizona. You need some coats.
Oh, boy.
Lots of them. It is cold as hell at night. As soon as the sun goes down.
All right, everyone. We'll see you here next week in another episode of The Fortress of...